Hello, everybody out there. Hope you guys are doing great. We are here again. Today we're with Debbie. And for what she knows, of course, about life, I just wanted to get her perspective on, of course, life, but also what to do in life. And it's about to go deeper into if you want to get homes, like homes to actually rent. And if you want to get land, because of course, it's all up and down. And I wanted to get your perspective on that, on how and where to put your money, right, up to a point, because there are so many ways to invest and all that kind of stuff. But also, you're a mom. You have
a mom.
Three, right?
3 kids.
If I'm correct? Yes. And to also just to kind of see her perspective, because just like right now, how we were just kind of, I guess we were talking about certain things, and I was like, oh, you're like somewhat old school.
Yes,
you're
very
like,
much.
So for some out there who are open to how she thinks, awesome. But at the same time, I want to learn from her, because then I can understand why and how you do stuff a certain way. So, of course, I just want to go way back and just kind of how you were brought up and all that stuff, because I believe who you were actually raised by, either mom, dad, aunts, uncles, or however else. I'll say that very vaguely, because for me, I was brought up by else's. I'll just say that. So,
okay.
Yeah, start with that.
Okay, well, let's see. I was born once upon a time, and way back when, and things were a little bit different back then. And my mom, she raised us. Me, I just have one sister, so it was the three of us, really. So my mom, she was a single mom. And real estate's always been a part of our life. So when I was so the house that I was born into, that was a house and 3 apartments.
Okay.
So single mom, she was a seamstress. So we lived in Maywood. So I don't know if you know where that's at. It's pretty like outside of LA. So she used to go into LA to work and get business and things like that. They didn't pay a whole lot of money. Like, not a lot at all. So we lived in the house, and then we had the 3 apartments, and with that money, she was able to support us, pay all her bills. She never did any type of government assistance, didn't have child support, anything like that. And that was the norm back then. That's the way it was. So just coming out of, growing up in that environment, I just always knew real estate was something you had to have under your belt. Whatever you do, you don't have to be in real estate, but it's a part of our life. It touches us in every way. If you're not going to own, you're going to rent. So it's what choice is yours. And then growing up, I became a single mom, So it was that same kind of mindset, is that these are my kids, they're my responsibility.
Yeah.
And so picture a 19-year-old with a baby. I didn't have any government assistance.
Yeah.
I didn't have any child support, and I felt that was my responsibility. So I worked for...
Will you just name drop?
I worked for a grocery store as a young kid, and worked my way through the ranks. And with that money, I was able to save enough money. By the time I was 22, now I have 2 kids at this age, and still single mom, and I bought my first house. And at that time, it was very doable. You save your money, you save your vacation pay, your tax money, and my first house, I was 22 years old with me and my 2 little kids.
Wow.
And I didn't think anything like, oh, poor me. And let me say, at that time, I felt like, no one actually said it, but I felt many times where I'm young, I'm a lady, and it's kind of frowned upon to be able to do things like that. Like even going to Home Depot, you know, they would, if I went with, he's the handyman, but they're talking to him, not me. You know, little things like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and especially in this day and age, hindrances of who you are and what you look like, I feel like we need to get past that. I feel like if I got those kind of looks, I didn't let it stop me. I was able to just plow forward. And, you know, it took a little longer because I did have 2 small children.
Yeah.
And, you know, no matter what you do, you still got to pick them up from school, take them to school, homework, and all those kinds of things. But then I, 22, had my first house. Then I was 24 and I got my second house. And this house had units on it. And so, so then I had both houses. and I'm only 24 at the time.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
2 little kids, you know, elementary school at that time. And I felt like my kids are my privilege. So single dads out there, I mean, single mom or dad, the absentee parent, I want to say to you, it is your privilege to see those kids. So if they're a burden to you, you know, you know, growing up, raising my kids, you know, the people in their life, they didn't feel like it was their privilege. And I never made it like, here they are. No, you got to work for them. These are beautiful children. My children are beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a part of their life, you've got to work for it. You got to earn it. And so I felt like in my life, I made mistakes. I did things wrong. But it was always my privilege to have those kids. I loved them with all my heart and do anything for them. And so then fast forward a little longer, then I had another baby.
Girl, you be busy.
So now I'm up to 3 kids. And then I find myself again a single parent. So
how do you just find these types of men? I'm not trying to put them on blast, but you're getting put on blast because you kind of should be there. You have, you know, control, you know, up to a point. Oh, I was drinking. It's like, okay, well, you should have been drinking and then did whatever to have it happen. I'm not sure with your situation.
Well, okay, it wasn't drinking, but let's say it's drinking. While you're drinking, that kid still needs to be fed. That kid still needs clothes. So has to go to school. Responsibility. So, you know, it's just this me syndrome. I want, I need. So do they.
Yeah.
You know, so when you put those kids ahead of you, then you get more perspective. And so for my kids, my perspective was, you know, they're number one. And I want to do everything I can so that we can have a good life. And that was always my goal, is that I want to take care of us. And I did. We never, in fact, you know, I could have spoiled them more and I didn't. Yeah. I think I was a kind of a strict mom in the beginning when they were young. No, can't do this, can't do that. And then the third one, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so now I have grandbabies.
It's awesome.
And, you know, and again, now they're my world. And it's just so great. I don't have to do any of the discipline. Just the fun. And I'm so enjoying it. So enjoying it. And, you know, whether you agree with it or not, but one of the things the Bible says is that you're supposed to leave an inheritance for your children and your children's children. So I take that to heart. Yeah. And so everything I build, everything I do is for my children and their children.
So you already kind of seen it as you grew up to look ahead in life and be like, hey, what's up? Because how I was saying, like, you got a lot of people, a lot of young people like, yeah, let's go hard now and then work as you age. And I've seen it gets harder as you age.
Absolutely.
So it's like, why not pay now and then play later?
Yes.
Right? Then let's play now and then pay later, because like, oh, I can't because I have a snapped hip and I can't even go wherever and go play ball wherever. Like, so you're trying to I guess how you seen it, to get stuff set now, and then you're like, oh, I don't have to work anymore. This is nice.
Yeah.
Well, and I would say it's more there now because if you have so many areas that you can be like, oh yeah, but at the same time you can be like, oh no, that's a scam, or no, they're just trying to take my money, or oh, all this kind of stuff.
I know that now.
So exactly.
Well, it just depends, because some people plan.
Okay.
And some people don't.
Yeah.
I did not plan on having kids on my own. That wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah.
But you just have to do what's in front of you.
Yeah.
So what is your responsibility? That's on you.
Yeah.
So instead of, and I see a lot of young people, and I feel bad because you're given a lie. My responsibility is someone else's. Like, I don't have to do anything. It's for them to do. And that is such a misconception, and it's a lie. Nobody's going to save you. You have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. If you want it, you go get it. If you want something, hard work is not a bad thing. Yeah. Hard work is good for you.
Hard and smart work.
It's hard, smart, all of it. Planning, a plan is great. Yeah. I did not plan, so, but what's in front of me is what's most important, and so that's what you take care of. You plan for it. Past that, you just do what you can, and for your what you're equipped with. So maybe like a 2-year-old can't cook a dinner, but they can maybe set the table. Okay. So you're given what you can do. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with hard work. I think it's good ethics. It's what this country was built on. Yeah. We if we go way back, I feel like in this day and age, everybody should be in a paid off house. By all the generations that have passed. And so if we had that mindset for our children and children's children, everyone should be in a paid off house. But it's not that way. We all have to work. And now it's getting harder and harder, Inflation. Yay! Yay! We're paying for lots of stuff. So now we have to have a different mindset. Maybe nowadays, an 18-year-old shouldn't move out and go get an apartment and work to just pay for a car and an apartment and bills. Yeah. Maybe that's not the best way to do it. Maybe as a household, we can work together, everybody independently. And
get homes or something.
Yeah, and plan for it that way. So, it's just a different mindset, a different way we're doing things now, and you're seeing a lot of kids, they're staying home a lot longer, but you should have the mindset of what's the goal, instead of just staying home to stay home, but to really, what's your benefit? How are you going to benefit from this years down the road? Because believe me, years will go down the road. Yeah. Before you know it, 10 years went by.
Yeah, and like with that, I tell people, either an age or whatever, to, if you can, to stay home and save up, because you have people who are like, oh, I'm gonna stay home, I have all this extra money, I'm gonna go get me a nice car, and you're paying so $800 a month because you have no credit. Like, you're paying all this money. Oh, I could afford it. Yeah. Not really, because you're not paying rent, you're not paying food. Well, all that extra stuff, and I'm like, why not save that, just kind of be like, oh, it's off to the side, and you're like, oh, I have like 10 grand right here, this is nice,
I'm gonna blow it.
Oh, because I did that. I was like, I'm gonna go buy cars, a bike, I was like, oh, I got a couple grand, I'm gonna go put it down on a bike. And
it's not hard to spend money.
Oh, gone. It's like, oh, it's so
not,
yeah.
So you have to think about those things. And parents, I feel like you should really guide your children into this. And the moment they turn 18, they should start to build their credit. And it's easy. It's so easy to build your credit, and your credit is so sacred. Don't ever co-sign for anybody. Don't give your credit out. Your credit is how you're measured, how the bank looks at you. So 18, if you're 18, start building your credit. don't get into debt. If they're the ones giving you credit, you should learn how to use it to your advantage. So you're going to buy something anyway, buy it on credit. Figure out how many payments you need to make before you start paying interest on it. So
that's smart. I like that.
Well, yeah, because you're going to need credit always.
Yeah.
And if you look bad on credit, you're going to pay a higher interest.
Yeah. If you're not paying cash. And I'm sure there are like certain
small percentage of people with cash.
Yes. But nowadays. But yeah.
They're out there, but it's a very small percentage. So if you're the lucky one that you've got cash for everything, you don't need credit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But for the 99%
the majority
of us that need credit, you want to definitely use it to your advantage because it's how the banks measure you. And so what we say is, without a loan, you don't have a home.
Dang.
So you got to have all of it to be able to be a homeowner. And you can be a homeowner or you could rent. And then what you're doing is paying your landlord's equity.
Practically.
So you're building it for them, so why not build it for yourself? How do you get there in a decent amount of time without hurting yourself, because you don't want to get, house poor and you can't afford to do anything because you're paying everything on your home. So how do you get to credit to be a homeowner without getting into too much debt? That's an important kids need to know how to do that nowadays. It's different. Back in my day, you could save a few thousand and buy a house. It was doable. Now it takes a lot of money. Yeah. So if you can build your credit, that's one way. They're also going to measure your debt. How much debt do you have versus how much you make?
Oh, the debt to income ratio? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So that's a measurement too. How much debt do you have? Do you have too much debt? You're a risk. The bank sees you as a risk. It's got a higher interest rate. And then, of course, your income. Can you make this payment? You might have great credit. You might have low debt.
But it's like the income.
But you're not making enough money.
Like, what's up?
So, so there's ways around that. And, in the event you needed a cosigner, for something like that, and it's you completely, respect the fact that somebody co-signed for you because that's their credit on the line. You can refinance and get out of, get that person off down the road.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was like an all-time. Wow.
You can refi. So they don't have to be on title. Yeah. And the same the other way around. Say like husband and wife. Wife doesn't work, husband. She's on title. Okay. But he's on the loan. So, he's on the hook for the house, but she gets the benefit of owning a home. See how that works? Yeah. But then the other way around, if you're the one with the income, the everything, but you don't have enough credit, you need a cosigner, then that bumps up your income. So you qualify for all a lot better. But then down the road, you can refi them out.
Right, hold on up on your hands. If you want all of what she has to offer, if you have any questions or any of that, I will have all of her information down below. So from that, jobs. Let's hop into jobs.
Okay, jobs.
Let's not the name drop, please. All right. So, how do you see jobs? Like how you were, you had to. When you were young, you had to jump in.
I had to work. There was no choice. I had to work. Yeah. And so I worked as much as I could. Okay. Crazy hours, going in at 3 a.m, getting off, not in the same day, but going in at 3, getting off at midnight, whatever. I worked whatever I could, as many hours as I could take on. And of course I had my mom that helped me. So I was able to work freely. So that was great. So, my advice, can I do that now?
Yeah, you can do it.
My advice to young people, if you don't know what you want to do as a career, focus on that. Figure out what you want to do and then get the road. I think that's half the battle, is just knowing what you want to do.
In life.
In life, what do you want to do? There's so many different things now. It's just endless. Focus on a field. Specialize in that field. How do you get there? Do you really need all that college? Do you really need to go the full...
Easy, guys. You're trying to be putting
road.
college down. No.
No. Just, figure out what it is. Because maybe you don't need that. Maybe because you're going to college and you need all your prerequisites. And, and then you figure out, I could have just done this.
Yeah.
And, trade school, nothing wrong with that. There's so many jobs out there that pay really, really well. Don't require college. But this is one little advice I gave my kids is, no, I'm not pushing you to be in the field of real estate, but you have to know about real estate. So you need to know how it works. Being aware. How does it work?
I wasn't aware.
What's the difference between title and escrow?
Yeah.
People don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
But again, if you want like some more information,
we'll get there. Yeah. So it's just knowledge is power. Knowledge is power for sure. Sure.
Hold on. I see half of that as true.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you can know so much about real estate, but if you're just like holding it in and it's not applied, it's kind of pointless.
Well, not just about real estate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So about everything. Like what field do you want to be in?
Yeah.
So you focus on that. What do you want to do? How are you going to get there? How much help do you need? Can you do it on your own? So those are the questions you got to figure out once you get to that point, because you don't have to be in that field to be thinking about it. So then, get your feet wet. Maybe that's something you want to test out. Maybe you don't like it at all.
So act on it. Because you have a lot of people who are like, oh, let's go.
And they're never going to go.
And it's like 10 years later, it's like, why didn't you go? Oh, because I didn't know how the economy was, or you should go seek help. But you have a lot of people who won't seek that help because they're like, oh, I'm dumb. I'm like, okay.
Man, in this day and age, there's so much information out there. Yeah. It doesn't take much to figure it out.
Yeah.
You all you have to do is just look it up. Does any home have encyclopedias nowadays? That was our internet back in the day. You need to know something, you had to go to the library. So nowadays it's at a fingertip.
Yeah.
Fingertip away.
But it's not used. I'm like, look at this. Like, how do you do something like you can do that? But of course, you have to be out there. You have to get your feet wet.
Yeah, these are things that really nobody's going to do for you. You've got to figure things out for yourself, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And also, say you go through all those steps, the reward, of accomplishment is it's reward in itself. So you feel empowered. You feel. I'm not saying that you have to go to college. I'm not saying you don't have to go to college, but you're going to know you better than anyone else.
Yeah. So
if that's something you want to do, there are steps to get there. Yeah. How are you going to do it? So, it's all preference. And, looking back in my life, I wish I had figured things out a little bit sooner than I did.
Yeah, me
too.
Took
me a little longer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, to go out and seek the people who live how you want to live, because yes, you can be at a job or whatever for X amount of years and
long time
do just work or whatever, but is that job is it there to help you get to where you want to go, or are you just kind of stuck? For me, I was kind of stuck, but now I see that it's going to help me go where I want to go,
Right.
Being...
It's going to get you there.
In that little spot's cool for whoever.
Yeah.
But not for me.
No. Yeah.
Or whoever for whoever. It's just, I want more because I've seen where it leads. You should go and ask somebody who's already where you are about to be, where they have been, and see how they live.
Yeah.
See how they are. Like, oh, you're going to be getting paid this much for retirement?
Yeah.
Like that. Why would I give my life for that?
Oh, yes.
And just kind of see it.
Oh, no.
And see it now and be like, okay, let's stay here for a second, for a bit.
But the next
use
step,
that. Be like, okay, who else do I have to meet? Who do I kind of, I guess,
follow in their
gonna link up
footsteps.
with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like an interview. Have your questions ready, things that were going to pertain to you.
Yeah.
How is this job going to benefit me?
Yeah.
How can I contribute? Because we also have to contribute too. It's a two-way street. So we're working somewhere. We need to be a part of that establishment, wherever it is.
Yeah, you want to show up and be you. It's like boom, boom,
100%.
boom. Let's go.
Just be there and
like,
take up time.
I have to go do this. No, you kind of get to because you're making cash money. Now, if you're about to go spend it on whatever, that's on you. That's awesome. But how about try and look more in the future to see what's going to help you out so you don't have to work for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Which there's so many people who aren't open to that. Like, no, that can't work. It's like, wait, that can't work, but yet you're paying rent for somebody which went out there, had their feet wet, and we're like, oh, how you were saying, so now you're paying for their equity. So, come again? You know, it's kind of like, be more open.
Yeah. Open up your mind, think about what you want to do, plan it out. Mm-hmm. And really, this doesn't take a whole lot of time. It's not going to take you years to figure out if you really think about it and put your time and effort into it. It's just a matter of what your preference is, where you want to be. What does retirement look like for you? What do you want to keep working some people are bored at home. They don't want to, they want anything just to have a job. So, some people want to keep working and that's fine. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
But some people don't. And some people, right. So what does retirement look like for you? Where do you want to be? How do you want your lifestyle to be? Because I also hear retirement, you're on a fixed income. So every time you step out of the door, it costs money. Everything costs money out there. You get in your car, there's gas. You go shopping, that's money. So what is retirement can be a fixed income. So do you want to keep making money when you retire?
Yeah.
Or will you be in a lifestyle that fixed income is going to support, where you're not strapped and can't do anything and enjoy your retirement? You want to be, I do. I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've worked my whole life. So when I do get to retirement age, I definitely want to keep, I want to be happy. Yeah. I want to enjoy.
So in your opinion, is age a thing for retirement if you're going to go off of the system? Because...
well, if you went off of the system, you would be just working and working and working and working. And, it's not a lot of money.
Yes, I've been told. Yes.
It's not, so it's harder. You were saying earlier that when you're younger, I worked sun up, sun down, and now it's a little bit harder for me.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. Yeah.
Aches and pains. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just I turn wrong and ow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a little bit harder as you get older to work, and you're gonna feel it. But I feel like I want to do real estate until I can't walk anymore.
That's awesome.
So I think that's it to me, home ownership. To be able to walk into your home
that you own, you don't own the bank anything, because if you're like, hey, I own my car, and you still own it, it's really not
the bank
your car.
owns it.
Yeah, it's like a house. Like, oh, I own my house.
They're lending it to you.
Yes, please own stuff.
And from the last time the market crashed, I think that's something we all learned. Is that what you own, you keep.
Yeah.
What the bank owns, they took back.
They said.
So we saw a lot of that. We saw so much of that. So that's what I mean. Like, don't get into a house that you can't afford. Because anything goes wrong and you lose it all. To
impress people that kind of somewhat care about you, but then they have their own lives they have to go back to. So they're practically not paying your bills. So yes, you can kind of hear all of what they say, but just kind of use what you know and be like,
yeah, don't get yourself in a bad situation. And the numbers don't lie. At the end of a loan, you're going to know how much you're going to pay. If that's something you can do, go for it. If it's something that's going to hurt you,
Yeah.
and it's going to hurt you in the long run for sure.
Yeah.
So, but what I mean is, home ownership is something. They say there's pride of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see that in a home you own. So, I mean, there's a lot of renters out there that take really good care of their place, and that's great. A lot of renters out there that don't.
Yeah.
And it's a different mentality almost. So, I hope I'm not offending anybody, but...
Whatever. Then own then, right? Sorry. I know it's expensive. I'm in an apartment still. I feel you.
Yes. So, I mean... It's a little bit harder to do nowadays, and I get that. I understand. Yeah. But again, the same thing as trying to find that career, put that same kind of effort. How can we own? And just get that little plan going. I love to sit down with... So when I first started real estate, I did not want to do loans because I didn't want to know people's personal financial situation.
You broke, boys.
I just felt like I didn't want to cross that line.
Yeah.
And so I kick myself because about 10 years ago, a lady told me here at the office, different office, but one of our gals, she said, I want to teach you how to do loans. She came to me and offered me that. And because I had that in my head, I said, no, I could have been doing this 10 years ago at least. Yeah. And she said, by your third loan, you're going to know what you're doing. Wow. So now I am doing loans.
So be open.
Be open.
Like, oh, I'm afraid. Hey, that's fine. You will fail, but how are you going to learn?
Yeah. So now looking at people's financials, I love to sit down, look at everything because I'm very, loyal. I don't share any information ever. Yeah. So I will look at people's financials and go, hey, you know what? This is something, if you do this, this, and this, we'll get you in home ownership in a short time.
Wow.
And I can kind of gauge of how long it's going to take if you follow the formula. Do this, do this, do this. And now it gives me such good pleasure, pride, everything, that when I see people, they have followed the plan and stuck with it and did the hard work.
You're like,
and then at the end they get a home.
You're like, yes.
That makes me feel so great.
Yeah.
So great. Because as a loan officer and a real estate agent, I never want to get somebody into a situation where they're not going to do so good. And I already know it. No, I never want to do that. So it's the opposite. I want to see people thrive. I love prosperity. I love development. I love all of those things. I think that we should all try to improve just a little bit more because our parents struggled, their parents struggled, so we should be on an upward trajectory. Yeah. We should all be doing better. So we want better for our kids. So it should just be getting better and better and better. So to see that is... It gives me great joy. I love to see that, to see families in their home. And it's different. It's different when they own a home versus either they're living with someone or they're renting. And I mean, people need to rent, and that's a full circle. I rent out, and it's worked well for me.
You're like, I make money off of them.
It's worked well for me. And,
awesome.
And the generation before me was my mom. If she didn't have those renters, who knows what situation we would have been in.
Yeah.
So, it's a full circle. We need everything. We need everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Being at work, like certain things you see at work, how do you kind of see drama?
Well, it's easy to get sucked into.
Oh, you're like, no way. This person, no way. Yeah.
Curiosity killed the cat. You just kind of want it. You want to know instinctively.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's best if I stay out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got enough on my plate. So let's just focus on that. When I see, drama on this side, I like to go the other way so that I'm clear of it. Because also, when you're involved in drama, you're going to say things and you can't take them back.
So always plead the fifth. No, okay.
Yeah. And hey, I'm not completely innocent. I've been guilty. And I've known from experience that I have said the wrong things. And you hurt somebody and you can't take it back. And take that foot out of my mouth, I wish I hadn't. And and I can pinpoint in my life all the times I have, and I just wish I hadn't.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Maybe I'm the drama, and it doesn't feel good either on that side. So we all have enough on our plates. Let's just focus on that.
Yeah.
There's enough to do.
Yeah, but then you have some people who don't have stuff happening. They want the drama. They're like, hey, who's doing what? Who's doing what? And I'm like, bro. But but of course, for us, we're like, okay, I will hunt on to know what's happening, so I can avoid certain things. Like, that person's around that person. You're like, I already kind of know. I'm gonna go this way.
Go the other way.
Yeah. Because like, oh, you seen this happen, right? I'm like, I didn't see nothing. I was off that day. Yeah, but you clocked in. I was off that day. Like, nope.
I don't want to be a part of that. Right.
So, yeah, that's key because you can get in trouble quick. It's going to be a big one for you because how I was saying, you're old school. So, how do you date? This is a huge subject, so we'll kind of
break it down.
So,
dating.
Yes.
Okay.
So to date, like, who do you date?
I don't have a lot of free time.
Okay.
So at this point in my life, I really don't have a lot of free time.
Okay.
So I kind of would feel bad if I was dating somebody because there's like little small windows of like my availability.
Yeah.
But being old school, I admit this is how I am. And I don't see it changing.
Okay.
So if somebody's interested in me, I don't call or text.
It's all them.
They call me, they text me, and if they don't, then there's your answer. I just don't chase men. That's my bottom line.
So how about if they have cash money, they got properties, you're just like, boom, they got yachts and, like that class. Like, what's up? Like,
well, I mean, I haven't come across that, anytime.
Not yet.
No. I'm not looking for somebody with all of that.
Okay.
But I feel like in this day and age, ladies, you're giving it up too quick, too soon, and men don't have to work for it anymore. That's just how I feel about it. So if we could all just take a step back and just kind of go back to the old school ways. I think that
that's gonna hurt so many men out there.
I know, but really that's really works better because I mean, from what I see is, especially this day and age with cell phones, we didn't have back then. It was so different. Nowadays, this guy's talking to this girl, that girlfriend number 1, girlfriend number 2. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't get involved in that. That's not my cup of tea. So, men, that's what you want to do.
Or ladies, too.
And exactly. It's true. And it's true because I see that, too. A lot of ladies are out there. What kind of relationship is that? What are you really getting out of that? And since my time is so limited, I don't have time for things like that. It kind of grosses me out. Yeah, so it's not something I want to get involved in. But I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not open to it. If the good guy comes along with somebody good, generous, somebody kind, I see generosity all the time, and I love that. I love it. I see people, hey, you can't afford, let me get that for you.
I see that. I'm like, you're an awesome person. Like, oh, I'm
I think
having
it's
a hard
great.
time.
Yeah.
Or I'm like in some cases, I'll be like, hey, here's mine.
Yeah. I went shopping and something was sitting there, and the gal checking me out, she said, oh, that's cute. I want it. I said, put it in there.
Wow.
Put it in my bill and you take it. And, I got to look like a hero, and it wasn't even very much money. But, it's those little things that just make such a big difference. And I feel like, why not? Why can't we all do that? Why can't everybody do some small type of good-hearted generosity?
I would say each day.
Each day. Well, if you can, but,
or just like something so small, like, oh, if you you're out and about, like, oh, I'll open that for you. I'll open
exactly. You go first. No, you.
It's like, oh.
Why can't, why, that seems to, it's out there, But I don't see a lot of the younger generation doing that. I mean,
Get out of my way, I got stuff to do.
Hardly at all. And I feel like we should be teaching our kids that, because we all have hard times. We all have, you know, something where, sometimes I get a little freaked out driving in a lot of traffic. Someone were, you go ahead, you know, or don't get on my tail, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of just a little bit of
something so small.
Yeah, something small. It doesn't always have to cost money. But, you know, just if we could teach our kids how to do that, and so on and so on, because we're all going to be in a situation where we could use a little bit of help.
Yeah.
So why can't we just help each other out instead of just, oh, you're this way, I don't like you, you know. Why can't we just all just take care of each other? And I don't mean like your responsibility is my responsibility, but in just some small way, some token of generosity in any form, whichever way it can be. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if we all just took part just a little bit, I think it would make a big difference. And especially in children, you see that, you know, it teaches them how to be generous as well. Well, maybe I won't take. Maybe I can give a little bit too. So I don't see anything wrong with that. So I don't know. Is that old school?
Well, like for us men, we're like, okay, if we're like, hey, do you want to go out or whatever at the same time? It's kind of like if I give or if I chase, you should kind of meet
in the middle.
But how you were saying, you're like, I don't chase no one.
Well, I mean, okay,
girl,
so
you just
that's
said
different.
That.
That's different because now you're asking for my heart. That's different. So if you're asking for my time and you're asking for my heart, I gotta trust.
Okay.
So how are we gonna start that off? If there's no trust, you really don't have a relationship. You got to have trust as the foundation.
Okay.
And then you build from there. Well, you know, and we're all different. You know, we're going to get on each other's nerves. That's different.
Yeah.
That's a completely different subject. But if, you know, if somebody wants a part of my time, I've got to be able to trust you with my heart, my family, my everything. So, you know, do you want to be a part of that? Well, show me. And if not, I'm perfectly fine just being me. So.
So right now, how you were raised, you don't need a man to fulfill you.
But yes, well, I don't, because I haven't had the opportunity. But I'm not like anti-man.
Okay.
Like, I don't need a man. No. I'm all for it. I think marriage is great. I think relationships are great. I'm all for it. But at this stage of my life, I can't be, I just, from this point on, it has to all be good stuff. Yeah. So, can you be a part of my life and make it better? Not the other way.
Yeah, like, oh, well, you're stressing me out. I don't got time for this. I got go. I got stuff to make. I gotta
better my life in every way. Yeah, just all of that. A lot's on my plate, and I juggle a lot. Yeah, and I enjoy it. I enjoy every aspect of my life. So I only want joy.
That's key, because like for us men who are super simple, that's all we want.
It's
just simple.
Yeah.
Like, all this extra stuff. It's like, no, because you have to think about all the other stuff. And then that drains you, and then you're stressed out, and you're like, oh, I forgot about this.
And they have to be okay with all my shoes.
Oh, shoes. So you have okay, so...
Don't bug me about my shoes.
All right.
My son, oh my gosh, it's so funny. If somebody compliments my shoes, he gets all annoyed. Don't tell her that.
So for you, all in shoes, is it because you have so many things you could assort with certain things on a different day, all this kind of stuff, because like for us men, simple men, we're like
3 pairs of shoes.
Yeah. And yeah, because I'm simple. I'm not trying to spend thousands of dollars on shoes, because for me, I'm just gonna I'm not trying to impress somebody all the time. Right. Like, oh, you have a nice pair of shoes. Like, it's rare. I have okay pair of shoes on right now, but it's what I get out of the shoes. You know, so
yeah. Oh boy.
All right, so here's a tip. So at work, if you're on your feet all day and you have high arches or low arches, or you're in or out, get a shoe that's going to help out your feet. Because I've learned the hard way from people who don't know or did not tell me about shoes are a big deal. You should go get
the good ones.
Get good shoes. Oh,
pay more.
They're like, oh, you spent $250 on
for those
shoes?
ugly shoes.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, and my hips don't hurt, my knees don't hurt.
You gotta have the good ones.
Like you have people who have really, or like up on a shoe that has like a flat sole, and I'm like, okay, so how your knees do? Oh yeah, actually they're hurting a little bit. I'm like, oh, but it's so expensive for shoes. And I'm like, actually it's a tax write-off because it's for your job. So it's a big thing. But you have like people who just work and just come home like, okay, you know when you bought those pants as a tax write-off. You know when you bought your shoes as a write-off. You know, but you aren't told this stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Oh, because I don't have to tell you this.
Well, taxes, that's a whole, you got to know your taxes too. You got to know about your property and taxes and all that stuff. So it's all a learning process. Yes. You got to learn little by little, but be involved in your life and understand.
And actually be open about it. Try and go after all the knowledge. Because how you were saying, yeah, you can know all this stuff. Okay, yeah, I know all this stuff about taxes. Yeah, but you didn't do what you just said. You didn't do what you preached. So it's not applied, so it's kind of useless. So, yeah, of course, if you're shy and all this kind of stuff, and cool, awesome. Get over that. Learn how to go adapt around certain things. It's like, for me, I have a speech problem. I have to learn to adapt, focus my breathing, certain things I have to words to go around because I already see ahead what's about to happen. But right now I'm speaking perfectly fine because I'm in the zone. So back to men. To men. It don't really matter race, religion, maybe religion. They have to be Catholic. You said you're a Catholic?
Christian,
okay.
Yeah.
So like, does that tall, shorter, are you like how you were saying? Oh, hold on, I wrote it down. So you want someone that you would be okay with if something went down, but humble.
Oh,
and then you were saying opposite, or the small guy that has an ego. If you want to jump into that.
love my type. I guess if I have a type.
Types.
I love a strong man that's really gentle.
Okay.
Doesn't walk around, I'm super strong and, throwing their weight around, so to speak. But then the opposite for a little guy with a big ego, that's a big turnoff. That, that's like little man syndrome. It's got to prove to everybody who they are.
She's saying it. I'm not saying it. I love everybody.
And it's funny because like even in real estate, I find that women are the hardest ones. Like I remember one time I hurt my hand and they go in there and shake your hand so hard. And I remember hurting my hand like, okay, I know you're awesome. Please take it easy on my hand. So, there's a gentle way to give a firm handshake that is not, just hurting somebody else. So I feel like that's kind of applied to what I'm saying is that, you have strength, but you know how to use it. Where instead of hurting somebody, you could protect somebody. Big difference. Versus then somebody being small, or even, I've seen big guys that think small. So they might be big, but inside they're small. And they have that little man syndrome where they've got to prove to everybody they're so big. Okay, great. You proved it. Now what? Big deal. So I feel like... I feel like kind of God made me small, in stature, because I feel like when I was younger, I was like that. I was little, but I had to prove to everybody that I'm so strong I can do it. And I think that's why I got into the relationships that I did, because, I can do it. I can carry it. I can take care of everybody. And now I have a different mindset. There's no way I'm going to carry anybody.
Yeah.
So and I'm not, for anybody else, that doesn't apply to anybody else. That's just for my experience. So I feel strength is something that is a gift, and too much is given, much is expected. So if you have a lot, you have to give.
Yeah.
And that's part of that generosity thing I was talking about.
Yeah. So it don't, height doesn't matter.
No, because you can't control that.
For white, black, Indian,
those are all things you can't control.
Orange, purple, whatever.
Nobody was born saying, I want to be this way.
Yeah, that's valid.
It's a fact. It's a fact. Nobody was born that they want to be like this, and that you got it.
Yeah. How do you see it now to date and to still have your child at home?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's expensive. I'm sure you can't. Oh, maybe.
No.
I don't know.
No.
How do you date with him in mind? To have outside men kind of be around you. I'm sure he sees certain things, so he's like, Mom, well, what are you doing?
Oh, I made it real clear. When I got divorced, he was just a little guy.
Okay.
Not even 2.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's been a long time. And, dating, I made sure that if I dated, it was on my time, not his. Okay. So I never brought men around him. He, as far as he knows, I haven't never dated anybody.
Okay, nice.
So, so I feel like if I want to date, it'll be on my time. So I don't bring men to my house. And that's the old school thing, if that's not for everybody. I'm not saying everybody has to do it this way. But I know for me, it has saved me a lot. It saved me and my household. Because let's say I do date somebody and now we're all together and say it doesn't work out. Now they're hurt too.
Yeah, they're like, well, where's my dad?
You made me like him and now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just, for me, that I felt like that worked out the best. I wanted to keep it separate, and not that there's been a whole lot of dating on that side.
Yeah. Well, you got stuff to do, man. You got stuff to build,
Yeah, and it's exciting. It really, really is.
Yeah, you got homes in Nevada, Arizona.
I have one property in Nevada. I listed all.
No. So
I don't want to list it all.
You got stuff. Going on.
Yeah, so that's a huge goal of mine. Is I plan on retiring from one job in about 2.5 years.
Good for you.
So for me, in about 2.5 years, I have that much time to figure out what I'm going to do. And I really would like to get into development. So that's on the real estate side. So what's so exciting is that I have all the tools before me. I have everything that I need. So it's just a matter of getting that done. And it's a little hard when, I'm spinning many different plates. Yeah. But I think by that 2.5 year mark, I'm going to be ready.
Good for you.
So, awesome. Yeah. And so I hope that, my kids see every step of the way what I'm doing.
And they're like, oh, yes, let's go do what Mom's doing.
Yeah. They are hard workers too. They're real hard workers, and I'm very, very proud of my children. So it's exciting to see the people that they've turned into, that they're gonna turn into, and that's what we can hope for the future generations, that they're gonna grow up and be productive, not just for their own personal life to be responsible for yourself, but how they're going to contribute. How are they going to, and there's only so much you can do. I'm not saying you have to do everything for everybody, but to be a contribution in some small way. That's huge. Yeah, I think it's great, and I'm very excited for them. And, we're not going to all live forever, and I understand that. So my footprint...
A small little
a mist.
Yeah, we have so much time,
Yeah, so my time, my footprint here is that the legacy that I leave behind. And, not perfect. I've made my mistakes, and that's what I've had, my cross to bear, what I've had to deal with. But for my kids, I hope that they can take what I've built, because my mom worked so hard her whole life. So her footprint here, we got to make it better. And so for my footprint here, my kids, I want them to make it better, not squander it away. To be able to grow and benefit for their lives, and just keep it progressing in that fashion. Not going down, but going up, Wow. So that's my hope and prayer for my kids.
That's huge. And I would hope everyone out there would kind of see that and kind of use that to want more for them, to have them do more for, of course, them, but others as well, because it's not only about us.
Right. We're not here forever. So
like us being here, it's just a small little like
ripple in the water.
Yeah, we're just super small in this huge thing called life, but that one person, they could do so much.
Benefit, people.
And inspire however you want.
In whatever field. Whatever.
Yes.
Everybody has a talent.
Yes.
Everybody has something to contribute.
Yes.
Like I said, the 2-year-old that can set the table.
Yeah.
I'm not musically inclined, but if somewhere down the road, somebody in our family line, if they are, that they could sharpen those tools, get better at it, find the avenue. How do you get to that end result of being professional, being, some type, doing what you enjoy.
And it makes sense for what you are doing, because at the same time you earn a certain amount off of each, I guess, property. And with that, if you do have a child or a friend that needs help either in sports or whatever, you can use that, all of what you've built, and you but hey, I'm gonna help you out from what I've done. I'm going to help you out to what you do, and so you can inspire, and do so much more in the world. Which is it goes both ways. It's like, hey,
that's what I would love.
Yeah,
I would love to see that. I would love to be a part of that. Even in this office, it's oh my gosh. Like, okay, so now let's talk about the broker that I work with. Him and his family, they're so kind, so generous, so giving. They do really well. And they want everybody else to do really well. And, they think, how, you need help? How can we get you there? What do you need? What's what don't you know? And so new people coming in, everybody embraces them, because it's a lot to learn. When you're fresh and you don't know where to start, everybody is here to help every step of the way. You can't log on to the printer. Okay, we'll help you with that. You don't know how to do it. We'll help you with that. So there is I've had so much help and support. And the mindset. Before, I thought I kept real estate as a side gig, part-time, on the side. And so because of everything that they're doing here, now it's the other way around.
Okay.
Now real estate's at the forefront, and the side gig over there is
good for you. Good for you. I'm not saying
no. Yeah. So without that type of help, so I could say I've done all these things, but I've had help along the way.
Yeah.
And the people here are the ones that have helped so much. And so I want to give back as whenever I can. And it's little small things.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do this or that, So in some type of small way, we try to, together.
That's awesome.
Help to build each other up.
Yeah.
And the team that we have here is just phenomenal in every aspect that you would need.
That's true. It's really cool.
Very happy about that. Very grateful for that. Very humble. Just love it. Love it.
Yeah, and you have a lot of people who say, "Oh, I'm self-made."
Yeah, there's no such thing.
Who did you? What? That
There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire, self-made anything.
Yeah.
You've had help. Everybody has had help along the way. I mean, unless like that $2 billion lotto winner, you know, that's different. So that's what I mean is that everybody has had help along the way. I certainly have. And I'm very grateful, you know, for every person that's helped me in my whole life.
Yeah.
I can look back and at this point, somebody helped me. And so same, you know, forward, someone needs help. I love to help as well. So that's what I mean. If we all just did a little part.
You're awesome.
Boom.
Are you okay with talking about this guy here?
Yes. Well,
okay.
You know.
I just got to make sure because you got people are like, oh, firearms. Oh, they're bad. They can do bad things. They have done bad things, but whose hands is it in? Sorry, go ahead.
Right.
All right, what's up?
It's our constitutional right to have them.
Okay.
Period. End of story. I never want to hurt somebody.
Okay.
Ever do I want to be in that situation. But I know that I would much rather have a firearm and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Yes.
So that's all it is to me. It is a weapon for protection, period. I never, ever want to hurt anybody. And I wish that there was never, ever any made ever.
Of course.
But now that there is, we got to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And our home. I would never want to be in a situation like that. But if it ever came down to it, I would have to. And
you would feel bad, of course.
I would feel horrible. It's not my preference. I would not want to hurt somebody.
Yeah. But if they had the intent.
Right.
I
would have to.
Like, harm you or your child.
Yes.
It's kind of like, hey, you're a threat. You're a harmful threat. It's about to be
immediate. I can't wait.
Yes. Not like, oh, let me call whoever to come help me out. And you're like,
it's been an hour and a half.
You're harmed her. I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
Because
no, if it's something.
Actually, I want to hop into that a little bit.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Go ahead. So
yeah.
yes, so you are okay-ish with it if it needs to be.
It's about necessity. So I don't feel like we should be waving it around. I don't think it should ever be some type of emotional thing in anger or, something like that. I think that, can I say, like, in certain countries, the men...
We're about to see right now. Go ahead.
In certain countries, men at a certain age they have to go into the military for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And so think about that, is that every household has weapons. Every household knows how to use the weapons. You don't mess with anybody.
Yeah.
So,
peace, because
peace. And that's that strength. You have the strength to know better not to use it. So I would rather have that mentality than no, can't have any weapons, and then boom, you're in the situation where you need one. Yeah. And you sure wish you had one.
Yeah.
So that's the way I feel. That's my personal opinion on it.
Cool. Yeah, because like how I was telling you, I've learned how to fight so I don't have to fight.
Exactly.
You'd be like, bro, I'm good because I know what I or you can do, and it's not great.
It's not going to be your benefit to try to...
Or right. I'm not going to say any of that because you don't know what could happen. At the same time, if you do something like something small, you get into some kind of scuffle.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you call me this, and you put hands on them, they fall, they hit their head, and they're dead. You're gone. All because they called you
something silly.
Tall. Oh, you have huge ears. Like, I get it. Because, trust me, from all the extras I've had to deal with, fine, cool, I still did deal with them. But it's like, I'm good. I'm not trying to get into all that. At the same time, that person could be having a horrible day. They go to fight. Or if you're in a car and they're driving, someone cuts you off or whatever. Oh, do this, whatever. I'm like, you got problems. That's fine. I'm chilling, Boom. But yeah, so to kind of be prepared.
Right, and that's what it is. You're prepared, but you know better.
Okay,
So just having that knowledge, having that education that it is something to protect you and your family, your home, your household, but it's not something you're going to go and wave around and push your weight around on something like that, because the repercussions are so unforgivable. So you can't take it back.
And it's not right.
Right. And nobody should be in that situation. But we're, in an unpredictable world. You don't know what they're going to do. So all you can do is just protect yourself and your home, and just have the best common sense that you can, because it could be a real ugly situation. And it's nothing that I ever want, for myself or to wish on anybody else. It's just you have to have the knowledge and the preparation. If that's something you're going to have in your household, you better know what you're doing.
Yeah, because you have a lot of, like how I was saying before on other who I would also kind of sit with, you know. Like, okay, you have one. Okay, you have to go seek training. Yeah. Of course, you can be like, go on, you can go online and like look up stuff, but you're brand new, so you don't know what works and what does not. Yeah. Like, oh, he did this. She's like, no, you do. What are you doing? No. So with that, go seek help. Yes, it's a bit expensive, but at what cost? You'll
save in the long run.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's clear. Oh no, it's not. Boom, and it goes off. Oh, because I didn't look. Boom, boom. I didn't prepare myself. Yeah, it's like, oh, and you
little preparation goes a long way in situations like that, and I'm glad to say that I have never been in a situation like that, and never do I want to be. Yeah. So and I can't say it enough, is that I never want to hurt anybody. So that's just the last resort. So, but if if you are in that situation and you got to protect yourself, and then you got to do it. I would probably be like,
don't look, but then you don't know what you're going to shoot at, like your threat, like, or like, it's
very scary.
What's your drive? What keeps you?
Many things
keeps you active. Keeps going. Like, oh
gosh,
I need to go. I need to do this. I need to set stuff up. I have people I gotta,
my drive, well, in different stages of my life, I've had many different drives. But my main focus, when my kids were little, of course, that was my drive, is that I had kids too, responsibilities. I had to take care of them. So I'm still have a kid to raise. He's almost no.
You're like, no, stay forever.
Stay forever. No, it's okay. No, so I have that drive, is that he has a lot of activities and things that he's doing. So I've got to make sure that he's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. Taking care of my clients. I love taking care of what they need. A lot of agents out there ask for a full price commission. Are they a full price agent? So with my clients, whatever my commission is, I want to be a full price agent, even though, if that makes sense.
I don't see it. I'm the new to this stuff.
I want to be a full service agent. That's what I mean. Okay. So regardless of what I make out of it, I want to provide for my clients full service. Okay. So whatever they need, So at every appointment, I try to be there. Every every showing, whatever it happens to be, I try to be involved as much. If I can't, I make sure it's all set up, but as much as I possibly can, because that's my drive right now. Is I still have my kids, my grandchildren, and my clients, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to see all of that taken care of. Yeah. So as long as everything's good, I'm good. I'm good. As long as when it's not good, then I don't feel good.
And last but not least, okay, this is all on you.
What's that?
Your job, just whoever you want to thank for you being where, and of course where you are. Just kind of say, I'm this. I'm a CPA. All the, well, I don't know if you're CPA, but
No.
All this stuff. You're up.
Oh
Here
gosh,
comes.
where do I start? I'd like to thank.
or just be like, hey, here's where I am. Here's your number. All this stuff.
I can say my phone number?
If you want to.
Okay.
You're like, dang, she cute. I want to be taught. What's that? Is DEBRA there?
Well, I wouldn't make it easy, but
dang. Okay,
just so you know. Okay, so I've been an employee for 35 years. So that I've done. Yes.
No.
Did you know that? You didn't know that?
Girl, you need to.
Woo!
Oh, what? You're out in a few years, so you're good. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
I've been an employee for 35 years with the same company, doing the same thing.
Don't be saying no names. All right, go ahead.
And I'm grateful for it.
Yes.
I did. I raised my kids. I got my real estate foundation from that job.
Okay.
It all started with saving my little pennies.
Yeah.
And I did it with that company. So I'm grateful for that. Grateful for all the people that I've worked with, that we've been all together with. Then so can I say the company name here?
Yeah.
So.
It's up to you if they allow it.
I'm sure they will.
Okay. They're like, I want that business, baby. Give me that business. No, sorry, go ahead.
So next on the list, well, my mother, of course,
Yes.
she's passed. So
Oh.
I am very grateful for everything she's done my whole life.
Yeah.
We were her priority.
Yes,
we were
of
everything
course.
to her. So, and she did whatever she could for her grandbabies.
Yes.
So I'm very, very grateful for that. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
The tears coming?
Not yet.
Okay.
How you waiting now?
She's like,
No, I'm very, very grateful. Very, very grateful. So, and, she was the example of how I should be with my kids. So, she gave me that. Her hard work and ethics, nothing she wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
So, next is Randy Thompson.
Woo,
So
Randy. I don't know you, but I will. So.
I've been with him since
Why you look at me?
about 15 years.
Oh, all right.
About 15 years
That's
now.
awesome.
So he started with a small company, Full Realty Services.
Okay.
And then he got with Century 21. So we were Century 21 Full Realty Services. But we were the only Century 21 that did loans too. So I started doing loans because of Randy. He got us into it.
Let's go, Randy.
Yes. And his beautiful wife, Linda.
Let's go,
and
Linda.
their two sons.
Got 2 sons.
Keith and Matthew. They're a great, great family. They provide so much. We're going to have an awesome Christmas party.
Nice.
Companies don't do that. They're such a generous family. For my birthday, decorated my desk with birthday stuff, a gift.
With money?
It costs money to do all that.
It's all right off. It's fine. Go ahead.
So it was his hard work that got us all here. And he's had his struggles in his life, and he's overcome them, and he's done so well, and there's nothing he wouldn't do for his friends, family. He'd give you the shirt off his back if he needed to, if he had to. So I'm very, very grateful for everything that they provide. The education just keeps going. They constantly are taking care of their people, and he's just the kind of guy that would just help anybody out. And if just meeting him, you would know that. Awesome. So those are all key players. I mean, there's many along the way, many, but those are that's where I got today. That's how I got here. That's awesome. And so wherever this takes us, I'm excited. It's going to be great. I look forward to it. And they teach us that the sky's the limit. So what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? How can we help you get there? Let's make a roadmap. And so I wish I had thought of that maybe years ago, and it would be a little bit different, but it's never too late. And I'm grateful to be where I'm at. I'm grateful for everything. And with that comes the giving, the receiving, and it just keeps going. And if we can help each other out in some way like that, I think that they're great examples of, contributions, generosity, and that's the example that I want to go by. They lead with example, and so I want to do the same as well.
Yeah, because if you lead, you're always being watched.
Mm-hmm.
Always,
oh yeah,
always. They're like, but that person did it. I gotta do it. Like them.
Yeah, and you got nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
I'll continue to make mistakes. So when I mess up, just forgive me.
Yeah.
I don't mean it, and just keep going. You fall down, you make a mistake. It's okay. Just keep going.
Yeah. But you have people who will sit in that mistake and like,
oh,
I'm down.
yeah.
I'm down.
I can't because da da da.
Yeah.
And it's not hurting anybody but you. So you got to take responsibility. You got to keep going and push forward. It's a little bit of work. Sometimes you got to dust off the ego. Hurts.
Yeah.
But you keep going and you'll get it. You'll do it. When I was first studying to do loans, I didn't think I'd ever get it. And,
you just kept with it.
Dust yourself off and keep going. Just keep going.
It's awesome.
It is. It is. And it's all good stuff. We have this life. We got to enjoy it. You got to enjoy what you have. There's a time to work and there's a time to play. And all of it's good.
Yeah. You
can't all work and no play. You can't all play and no work.
Yeah.
You got to have a good balance of both.
It's like, how would that work?
Well,
or if you're set up already, which small percentage
of
but
it.
Hey,
but,
do you?
But if you had that kind of opportunity, somebody before you made that happen. You should be carrying it on to do better.
Yeah, it's like thank you.
Be grateful.
Do more in it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to move on, make it better. So I think that's what what we should all be thinking of. I mean, my opinion, I don't know if that's everyone's mindset, but I think that we all should just do a little bit better, work a little bit harder, togetherness, help each other out. And I think that we would all see a lot of good things from that. I don't see the harm in it. I don't see the negative part in that.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact, I've already got so much from you. I'm already thinking like, shoot.
That's great.
I'm like, houses, let's go buy them all. But you got to save up, start small. So I know for a fact I got so much. And I hope you guys did out there just how much she can give. And again, I'm going to put her info down below in the description, all the links and stuff like that. But I want to say thank you for your time, because
thank you. I appreciate it.
How you were saying, you're like, it's valuable.
I hope. I hope somebody benefits.
Yes.
If it benefits anybody, I'm grateful.
That's all that counts. And I'm here to hopefully inspire people, and
thank you, Jay.
And for you,
thank you,
to help people who aren't open or who are too shy or not trying to have that first step or any of that stuff in this thing called life. Yay.
Well, if anybody does need anything, I'm available. I love to share my story, help them out, create a path for them. I'm all for that.
It's our sales pitch.
No,
I'm kidding.
Because it wasn't about houses.
Yeah, I know. Not yet. No, I'm kidding.
I'll get you there.
I got you. Okay.
No. But yeah, seriously, I would love to help people out because I've been in those shoes. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
I know what struggles are like. I'm not blind to it. I know that it's out there. I know it's hard, and especially in this day and age, things are a little bit harder than they used to be, and that will be for the next generation. That will be harder than. So it'll keep going that way. So how can we help each other out, get into that point of where you're independent, responsible, and then also generous.
And that's where we will cut it off. Until next time, hope everybody out there has a great day or night wherever you are. And over and out.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Boom.